जी की जय। राधा रमन बिहारी राधा विनोद बिहारी राधा नयन बिहारी जी की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जी की जय। राधा दामोदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा गोकुल नंद राधा रमन जी की जय। कृष्ण बलराम महाराज की जय। तो पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद अस्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राज कचर्य स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति जीवन जनार्दन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति श्रीमद् गौरगोविंद महाराज की जय। नीतिल पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वैभव पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति राक्षसीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जो पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। परम भागवत शिल गौर किशोर दास जी महाराज की जय। सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव स्वरूपम शिल जगन्नाथ दास जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शत गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। स्वरूप दामोदर रमनंद दी श्री गौर परिषद वृंद की जय। नमः शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नवदीप मंडल की जय। व्रज मंडल की जय। क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। चार संप्रदाय चर चर चरधाम की जय। रसेश्वरी क्रियेश्वरी वृंदावनेश्वरी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। कुल देवी योगमा पूर्णमासी देवी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समग्र गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनन्दलीलमय विग्रहाय मुक्तिविच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलोकल्मषनाशाय जन्मपतये नमः। अजनुलंबित भुजो कनकवदातो संकीर्तनाय कपितरो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो जुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रिय करो करुणावतारो। कनकजलादगात्रो नीलशोणाब्जनेत्रो मृगमदवरबालो मालतीकुन्दमालो तरलतरुनवेशो नीलपीताम्बरेशो स्मरनिवृतनिकुञ्जे राधिका कृष्णचन्द्रो तवैवास्मि न जीवमि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं नय मम चरणन्तिके। श्रीगुण्डिचामन्दिरमात्मवृन्दे सम्मार्जयन् क्षालनतः सगौर स्वचित्तवच्छीलनमुज्ज्वलं च कृष्णोपवेशोपयकं चकार। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So I would request Indubhushan Prabhu and Radharaman Prabhu to make some introduction. Yes. He's the preacher here. Yeah, he's the preacher. So. About today is a special day of Gundicha-mandira-marjana, or cleaning of the temple of Gundicha in Jagannath Puri. Okay. Just the day before Ratha-yatra. So if you can be seated, otherwise stand up as you like. Dutch.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. First of all, allereerst mijn nederige betuiging aan mijn Guru Varga, Guru Parampara, en mijn geliefde Guru Maharaj, Om Vishnupad, Paramhams Pracharya, Sotosat, Sisimat Bhaktivedanta Narayana Swami Maharaj. Daarna wil ik mijn nederige betuiging brengen aan de gehele Guru Parampara, met name de Rupana Guru Varga. En ik wil mijn naam ook brengen aan Sadhu Maharaj, de Pushan Prabhu, die ons de gelegenheid gegeven heeft dat we hier een beetje sadhu kunnen mogen doen. En daarna wil ik alle broeders en zusters bedanken. Hare Krishna, van harte welkom. So, Sadhu Maharaj has said to speak something about Gundica-mandira-marjana. Yeah?
Mag ik Nederlands?
Okay, Nederlands. Oké. So, Maharaj heeft gevraagd om iets te vertellen over Gundica-mandira. Gundica is eigenlijk de vrouw geweest van deze koning. Jullie weten welke koning heb ik over?
Nee.
Nee? Pratap-Rudra. Pratap-Rudra, die organiseert deze festival natuurlijk in Indië. En zijn vrouw heet eigenlijk Gundica. En dan Gundica-mandir, schoonmaken, daar zit heel wat leerrijke kennis. Maar omdat we Mahaprabhu volgen, gaan we eigenlijk de lila van Mahaprabhu verheerlijken. En de zoetheid van Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, op het moment dat Balaram, Subhadra en Jagannath buiten gaan, ja, voordat ze gaan, dan gaat hij de Gundica-mandir, die is iets verderop van Jagannath-mandir. Dus dan gaat hij daar schoonmaken met toegewijden. En dan gaat hij schoonmaken en dan zitten daar brokken stenen, spinnenweb, kleine stenen, stoffetjes, allemaal zitten daar. Dus Mahaprabhu en al die metgezellen van Mahaprabhu, die gaan allemaal het schoonmaken. Voordat Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra daar aankomen en dan gaan ze rusten daar. Dus er wordt een diepe betekenis in gegeven, een zoete vorm, van als we Jagannath trekken, wat is de bedoeling van het trekken van het kaart? Hier wordt Mahaprabhu geeft een hele mooie zoete informatie in, van we trekken die kaart met onze geest. Manzikheid zou zeggen. We trekken dat elkaar met onze geest. En waar trekken we naartoe? Het moet naar de hart komen. Zo Gundica-mandir wordt gesymboliseerd als de hart van de toegewijde. En Radha Krishna, die moet in de geest getrokken worden naar het hart toe. Maar voordat we naar de hart gaan, Mahaprabhu en onze Guru Varga leert ons in de hart verschuilen zich onze lieve vrienden, toch? Kaam, krood, loop, moh, matcharya. Dus kaam, lust, ja toch? Woede, arrogantie, al deze kwaliteiten zitten daar. Maar Mahaprabhu leert van, hoe kunnen we deze schoonmaken dan? En dan haalt hij, als hij tempel schoon gaat maken, dan haalt hij brokken stenen, stof en alles. Eerst gaat hij grofstoffen weghalen en dan gaat hij wassen en poetsen en dat het helemaal schoon wordt. Dus dat symboliseert van, eerst moeten we door Harinam te chanten en Sadhu dat doen, deze grove dingen, elementen in onze hart laten verdwijnen. En als dat weg is, gaat die Harinam weer en Sadhu ons weer deze gemoed geven, dat Radha Krishna kan in onze hart manifesteren. Dus dat is de diepe betekenis van Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Daarvoor gingen die mensen wel allemaal die dingen doen, Ratha-yatra, maar het was geen zoetheid, was geen boodschap erin van waarom deze Ratha-yatra plaatsvindt. En Gurudev legt het nog dieper uit van Krishna die wil naar Vrindavan gaan, weet je? En er is een hele mooie verhaal erin, maar Maharaj gaat dat vertellen. Dus in kort samengevat, Gundica-mandira-marjana, dat betekent het schoonmaken van die mandir. Welke mandir? Dat is daar symbolisch. Maar hier, het hart moet schoongemaakt worden, zodat de Radha Krishna kan hier manifesteren. Als hij niet schoongemaakt wordt, kunnen we doen wat we willen, gaat niet schoongemaakt, gaat hij niet komen. Dus daarom leert Mahaprabhu, is hier schoonmaken, door Harinam, Sadhu. Yes? Oké, want je kan het er een stukje vast in de Maharaj heeft niks begrepen, maar ik hoop zo maar. Hij begrijpt Nederlands?
You understand 50%?
30 to 40 maybe.
Okay. Already love.
Yes. Similar languages.
So.
Jnana-timirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Gurave Govichandraya Adhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tada Bhaktaya Namo Namah. Zo, allereerst breng ik ook mijn negeerbetuigingen aan mijn dierbare Gurudev, niet jullie de wisdom, Vishnupadas, de Sisima, Silabhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj. En dezelfde eerbetuiging aan mijn Siksha Gurus, niet jullie, om Vishnupadas, de Sisima, de Krishna. En om Vishnupadas, de Sisima, Pujyapat Bhaktivedanta, Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. De hele Rupanuga Guruvarga, all Vaisnava, all Vaisnavis. Mijn handen wat pronaams. Zo, dank jullie wel voor het komen. Zo, Radharaman heeft het al heel mooi eigenlijk samengevat hoe belangrijk deze dag is. Het was op deze dag dat Mahaprabhu, zo 500 jaar geleden hier op aarde, het grote voorbeeld gaf van de diepe betekenis van de Ratha-yatra. 4 juli wordt de Ratha-yatra in India gevierd. En eigenlijk was het dankzij Mahaprabhu dat we eigenlijk weten wat de werkelijke betekenis is van Ratha-yatra. Het is dus de betekenis wat Radharaman Prabhu zei. Jagannath is in Dwarka en hij komt naar Vrindavan. Zo, ons hart is eigenlijk Vrindavan. Het is de situatie wanneer Krishna vanuit Dwarka naar Kurukshetra gaat. En daar ontmoet hij Radharani en al de Braja Gopis. En op dat moment is er zoveel blijheid. Want ze hebben zo lang Krishna niet gezien. Krishna heeft Vrindavan verlaten en is naar Dwarka gegaan. Is daar getrouwd met zoveel prinsessen. Maar er is geen dag voorbij gegaan dat hij niet aan de Brajavasis dacht. En met name aan de Braja Gopis. Zo, soms werd hij in het zweet wakker van Radhe, Lalita, Visakha, Varari, waar zijn jullie, waar zijn jullie? En al die prinsessen in Dwarka die dachten, wat is dit? Wat is de specialiteit van Vrindavan? Wij hebben alles, we hebben alle pracht en praal hier in Dwarka, maar toch is er geen dag dat hij niet aan Vrindavan denkt. Zo, en daarom ging Krishna met een smoes, ging die eens een keer uit Dwarka. Want hij kon de gescheidenheid ook niet meer tolereren. En hij wist, er kwam een zonsverduistering aan. En op een zonsverduistering was het gebruikelijk dat ze op Kurukshetra meditatie gingen doen. En hij wist, als ik daar naartoe ga, dan ontmoet ik de Brajavasis, want die gaan er ook naartoe. Zo was het dat ze daar elkaar weer ontmoetten. Maar het was met name Radharani en de Braja Gopis die zeiden van, het is heel mooi dat we weer jou zien na zo'n lange tijd. Maar ik wil dat je met ons meekomt naar Vrindavan. Want hier ben je omringd door je leger, door al die paarden en al die karren. En het gemoed is niet, de moed is niet hetzelfde als toen we vroeger bij de Yamuna waren tussen de bomen in Vrindavan. Zo, je moet met ons meekomen naar Vrindavan. Zo, die moed is eigenlijk de Ratha-yatra. De gopis nemen Krishna in hun hart mee naar Vrindavan. Zo, en Mahaprabhu die gaf het voorbeeld van voordat Jagannath Baladev Subhadra naar Gundica Temple gaat, dat symboliseert Vrindavan, moet het eerst helemaal schoongemaakt worden. En ons hart is dus Vrindavan, moet Vrindavan worden. Maar voordat Radha en Krishna daar manifesteren in ons hart, moeten we dus die anarthas uit ons hart halen. Die anarthas zijn dus het vuil, het stof en al onze gehechtheden. Zo op deze manier gaf Mahaprabhu een prachtig voorbeeld van hoe we serieus bhajan moeten doen. Ons hart moeten reinigen. Een keer vroeg iemand aan Gurudev, Gurudev, wanneer ga ik Radha Krishna ervaren? Wanneer ga ik Vrindavan in mijn hart zien? Gurudev zegt, als je Gayatri chant, als je een chanter bent en je denkt aan niks anders dan Radha en Krishna. Maar hoe vaak chanten wij onze Gayatri en onze mind die gaat alle kanten op, maar die vergeten aan Radha Krishna te denken. Dat pas als we alleen maar aan Radha Krishna denken, dan gaan ze in ons hart verschijnen. En als we dan aan het chanten zijn, dan kunnen we ze zien. Als een guru. Ik kan me herinneren, als Guru aan het chanten, Gurudev aan het chanten was, dan was hij volledig in een andere wereld. Hij was in Vrindavan. Dat is puur devotee, die zuivere toegewijden, die zijn als ze aan het chanten zijn, die zijn ze in hun hart in Vrindavan. Ons hart moet Vrindavan worden. En hoe kan ons hart Vrindavan worden? Door te horen van de zuivere toegewijden over Vrindavan, over lila's van Radha en Krishna. En hun instructies te volgen. Dat is de methode om ons hart like Vrindavan te maken. En op die manier gaan al onze anartas eruit en het wordt mooier en mooier. En op een gegeven moment, door de genade van Guru, mogen we een glimp ontvangen. Niet alleen van Radha en Krishna, maar ook van onszelf. In ons hart zit onze spirituele vorm, ons spirituele lichaam. En een Guru die kan dat laten zien. Oh, je bent dit, je naam is dit, jouw seva in de spirituele wereld is dit. De Guru die kan dat laten zien. Daarom is het een must om een zuivere toegewijde als Guru te hebben. Zonder een zuivere toegewijde kunnen die dingen niet manifesteren in ons hart. So, dit is het proces van Bhakti. En Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is de meest genadevolle incarnatie van Krishna. Want er is geen andere incarnatie die deze hoge filosofie, dit meest perfecte proces heeft gegeven als Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Dit is het allerhoogste. Ik heb het al eerder gezegd, hoe voortuinlijk dat we zijn, dat we hier mogen zitten in Kali Yuga als meest gevallen zielen. Zo kan je het zeggen in Kali Yuga. Dat is degenen die geen perfectie hebben gebruikt of gehaald in andere yoga's, die komen in Kali Yuga terecht. En dat zijn, ja, we hebben niet de kwaliteiten meer van andere yoga's. Maar toch, Mahaprabhu kwam en hij gaf het beste wat nog niet in andere yoga's verkrijgbaar was. Pratya Prem, Vrindavan Prem. Dit is de genade van Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. En hij kwam om te proeven, maar ook om te geven. Hij gaf het voorbeeld bij elke dag het voorbeeld te geven. En speciaal op deze dag gaf hij zo'n groot voorbeeld, wat het betekent om ons hart te reinigen. Zo, dankjewel Maharaj, thank you so much. And now we will hope to hear from you.
Hartelijk bedankt.
You're welcome.
Gurave Gurachandraya Radhike Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, my limited Dandavat pranams to lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. Nitila Prishta Vishnupada Stotra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, my respected Shiksha Gurus. Dear Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here in Rotterdam, also those devotees and friends who are watching us online, Dandavat Pranam. So, as you heard already from Radha-raman Prabhu and Indubhushan Prabhu, today is a very special day for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the day before Ratha-yatra. Tomorrow, the three chariots of Jagannath, Baladeva and Subhadra will be going from Jagannath Temple to Gundica. And huge festival of Krishna returning to Vrindavan. So we'll discuss, that's a very big subject. But before that, this day, Gundira-mandira-marjana is dedicated to cleaning of the Gundica Temple, means cleaning of our heart from different anarthas, different undesirable things. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu requested the superintendent of the temple, through Kashi Mishra. He requested, oh, please allow me to clean the temple of Gundica myself. Well, the superintendent said, oh, this is unprecedented. I've never heard of anything like this. But if you really desire, my dear sir, my business is to fulfill your desire. So if your desire is really so, I consider it to be a pastime. So he really agreed, and both Kashi Mishra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were talking to the Paricha, means superintendent, and also Maharaj Prataparudra was very happy. So the next day, early in the morning, the Long took his personal associates, and with his own hand, he decorated them with sandalwood pulp. He smeared sandalwood pulp all over their bodies, starting from the forehead. So each and every devotee he gave personally into his hands a broom. Hundreds and hundreds of brooms and pitchers for water were brought, and everybody were going towards Gundica with loud kirtan. So actually everything about cleaning of Gundica-mandira-marjana was going on with loud kirtan. That's a very, very essential principle. So not that we just work. We don't work. We perform bhakti yoga. But certainly bhakti yoga starts from karma yoga. And karma means activity. So what you do, first of all, you dedicate your activities to Krishna. But you add the factor of bhakti. So if you, for example, a driver, right? So you become bhakti driver. If you're a builder, you become bhakti builder. If you're an artist, you become bhakti artist, etc. So this is called karma yoga. Otherwise, technically, it's called arop siddha bhakti. Arop means superimposing. Right? Your activities now become bhakti. The label of bhakti is put on them. So starting from that. But karma yoga, according to Bhagavad Gita, is the direct path towards bhakti yoga. Actually, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is translating karma yoga as devotional service in his books already. Many impersonalists were against karmis. How can you call karma yoga bhakti? Yes, actually so. Yeah, starting. As if you're learning how to write. You're not necessarily a great writer at once, but you're learning how to write. So you're learning how to act in Krishna consciousness. How do you act? With Harinam, with chanting of the holy name, definitely. So here, how it manifested during Gundira-mandira-marjana a bit later. So hundreds of devotees were engaged in cleansing all around the temple. And Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was personally carrying all the operation. He was instructing devotees. So what is the way of instructing? Certainly by your own example. I remember one cartoon, like drawing, The boss is a person who's sitting and pointing out. You do this, you do that. That's the boss. But the leader is the one who is doing, first of all, himself, by his own example. So that tradition, that principle comes from Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was doing that himself. And doing it ideally. Ideally. We will hear how. So then, after that, the place where the deity's food was kept was cleansed, Boga Mandir. So then the yard was cleansed, like all external areas. Then Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu collected all the straw and dust and grains in one place. And he gathered it all in his cloth, like this, in Uttari. He started himself. Then, by showing his example, he told the Gaudiyas, his devotees, the bhaktas, oh, now you should do. Right? So everybody was following his example. And hundreds of devotees, actually Gurudev was saying millions, not even hundreds, like million devotees came. Many, many millions. So he told his devotees, I will see how many everyone has collected. Yeah, I will personally see. So he was observing how many everyone collected, but at the end of the day, Mahaprabhu collected much more than all the devotees put together. Much more. So everybody collected three times. They started from the biggest types of rubbish, big stones, chips, straws. Even some big stones were there, then chips, then little straws. Was the first stage. Then the second stage, medium-sized dust and little straws. Then the third stage, little dust and little straws. So that corresponds to different kinds of anarthas, different kinds of undesirable things. So we will now hear what those anarthas are. Srila Gurudev is explaining that the roughest anarthas, there's a list of 16 generally. It's called 16. So 4 times 4. Each type of anarthas has 4. So the first one is Swarup Brahma, means the misunderstanding of spiritual identity. Yeah. Divided into four. The Swarup Brahma of the Lord, the Ishvara Swarup Brahma, then Jiva Swarup Brahma, then Sadhya Sadhana Tattva Brahma, the incorrect understanding of the process and the goal. Yeah. Then Tucca Sakti, the empty attachments to this material world, different kinds. So, desire to be happy in this world, desire to be happy in the heavenly planets, desire to be happy by obtaining mystic powers, the yogi's desire. Then finally, desire of liberation, also anartha. Then aparad, or offenses, different kinds. The nama aparad, the offenses of the holy name, 10 offenses. All the devotees should be careful. Then dhamma aparad, the offense of the spiritual abode. Then jiva aparata, the offenses towards the jivas. And seva aparata, offenses in the service. And then finally, what's that? Weakness of the heart, right? Hridaya durbalyam, yes, weakness of the heart. The weakness of the heart is especially dangerous and especially harmful for the jiva. So Srila Gurudev is saying about some of them. So generally there are 4, but actually some more are mentioned, so we'll discuss them now. So pratishtasha, or the desire for name and fame and adoration. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Manashiksha is explaining that after one has freed oneself from rough anarthas, this subtle anartha is still prevailing in the heart. It's very, very difficult to get rid of it. Yeah. So it also corresponds to the dots of black tar. The black tar, when you cleaned everything, the black tar is actually the toughest to clean. You need, modern chemical means to clean that. Because black tar is very, very difficult. You cannot clean with ordinary soap even. So you need some scrubber, some metal scrubber, and
The ladies know.
Yes, ladies know very much. So in the kitchen and in cooking, and on the floor, on utensils, kitchen utensils, very, very difficult to clean, and also requires time. So that corresponds to pratishtasha, the desire of name and fame and adoration. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Manashiksha is saying pratishtasha drishtashva pacharamani me hridinatit tam sadhu premas prishachachitaretam nanamana. So while the vulgar dancing dog-eater lady, Pratishtasha Shvapacharamani. Shvapacharamani means vulgar dog-eating lady is dancing in my heart. I cannot really come to Krishna Bhakti. Pratishtasha Drishta Shvapacharamani me hridanat katam sadhu prema. Then sadhu prema means the exalted prema, exalted love of God will never become manifest in my heart. It's not possible. So it's very, very dark and dusty room. You can compare. While the room is dark and dusty, there is no light. When the light is coming, then gradually darkness dissipates. But when in the room, there's some obstacles like broken chairs and the typical area when you're about to clean and to repair everything, and also cobwebs and dust, 1 centimeter layer or even more. So it's very, very difficult to clean really, and you can lost your way. You can walk into something and fall all of a sudden. So it's very, very difficult to get rid of the impediments. So that pratishtasha, that desire of self-adoration, desire for name and fame, is sitting very deeply within sadhaka's heart. And if sadhaka is sincere, then he notices it with the help of Guru and becomes very, very unhappy, becomes very repentful.
Yes.
And then he puts all endeavors in order to become free from that anartha of pratishtasha. So we have come from a rough background. We gave up eating meat, drinking wine, intoxication, illicit sex, all those things, gambling. But comparing to pratishtasha, the desire for name and fame, that's very easy to give up. Very easy to give up. Yeah. So we may collect bigger stones, smaller stones, straws, bigger straws, smaller straws, easily. They can be seen. But the dots of black tar, oh, even if you notice, oh, then very, very difficult. Yeah. Especially the dots of black tar compared to Vaishnava Parat. So the smell of the the smell of Vaishnava Parat pertains even up to the level of beginning of prema, according to Maturya Kadambini. Even up to the level of prema, beginning of prema, still some smell of Vaishnava Parat is there. So you see how difficult it is to overcome that kind of anartha. So Srila Gurudev is giving some examples about pratishtasha. And young devotee can aspire to become like Haridas Thakur, and he or she can be practicing a solitary bhajan in a solitary place. But as a result, he will gain just pratishta, just desire for name and fame and adoration. It's very dangerous. Or another devotee, Gurudev is saying, has come to Jagannath Puri and has come to Bhajana Kutir of Sri Haridas Thakur and gave $1,000 to a pujari, and the greedy pujari gave him the beads of Srila Haridas Thakur, the big mala of Haridas Thakur. Yeah. So he was thinking that, oh, I will chant on that mala, and then not even pure name he was thinking of. He was thinking of glory and adoration. Glory and adoration will come to me. That's what he was thinking. So that's actually cheating oneself. So what does it mean to obtain Srila Haridas Thakur's glory? It's a big, big thing. So then people are thinking, oh, the bigger my mala is, the bigger bhakti is.
I'm cheating myself.
Yes.
A very big one is
No, this is medium size. This is okay.
I see so much like this.
Yes, like this. Like big rasagulas, one bead is like rasagula. So it doesn't constitute genuine bhakti, because bhakti, the symbol of bhakti is what? Trinadapi sunichanatarorapi sarishnanamani namana kirtaniya sadhani. Devotee is saying, I'm very insignificant. Not exactly as thinking I'm nothing, but thinking I'm very insignificant. Once Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada caught one devotee, like crashed his, smashed his pride. This devotee was saying, Prabhupada, I'm most fallen. You are not most anything. You are just insignificant. You're not most anything, because this is like, you're standing on a platform and say, I'm most fallen, look at me. No, never. You're most insignificant, not most anything. It's insignificant. Just do your thing silently, with devotion, and then Krishna may notice. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was saying, don't try to notice Krishna, don't try to see Krishna. Make Krishna see you by your devotion. So that's what it means. It means throw out the feeling of self-importance, self-importance. So we're coming from the world of very proud people. Outside the window, people are very proud.
They learn that to do.
Yeah.
They're educated to do that.
So because I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
That's marketing.
In Moscow Preaching Center, one time, there was one rug, or what to say, at the door rug, for wiping your feet, right? And sometimes people present each other towels. You know, towels with to the very best one, like this is written. So that towel had that label, to the very best one. So everybody was wiping their feet against that towel. So this is first type of very, very severe anartha to give to, so that we can work to get rid of it. And the second one Gurudev was mentioning, jiva himsa, means committing violence to any living entity, any living entity. So remember great devotees like Jada Bharata. Yeah? They were afraid even to harm an ant. So he was walking in a zigzag way to save the ants. And remember how the author of Ramayana, the hunter, Valmiki, finally he was also very, very afraid to harm an ant. He was a very cruel hunter before. So what is himsa? Himsa means to cause pain to another with one's tongue, mind or heart. But not necessarily only physical action or verbal action, mental action as well. So, okay, we don't beat anyone, we don't harm anyone by word, but we're thinking, you know. So yes. So the thinking in a bad way should be given up. So I'm just preaching to myself because, you know, in preaching we meet so many people, different kinds of people, very different kinds of people. Some people become violent. Some people so proud they don't want to listen to you. Some people, when they come, they want to establish their own importance. So, but like inertia, you know, I was best there, now I come here, I'm best here. Must be best singer, best cook, best. Ik ben een kampioen in koken. If somebody is more kampioen than me, I cannot tolerate. So people are like this, but we have to, how to say, don't answer fire to fire. If you answer fire to fire, then a great problem will come. So any community or preaching center or community can stand on mutual respect, like this. Yes. And thus we're teaching others by our own example, being humble, how to be humble, how to grow that in their hearts. So therefore Gurudev was saying distribution of books or of bhakti or whatever is love distribution. So love means Trinada Pasunijan. Means you have mastered that, what's that? Siddha Pranali, a great formula for achieving bhakti, Shri Radha Govinda Shukija. And others are looking at you and they're learning, teaching by your own example, not superimposing anything. That's very, very important also because in religious organization, often people suffer, newcomers suffer from the mental, how to say, aggression from the leaders. Very important. Therefore, Srila Gurudev was talking so much about that, and his advice was included, different kinds of advice were included in the Harmony book. So how to be non-violent in devotional association. So I'm preaching to myself because so many people were broken-hearted because of the misbehavior of the leaders. And the leaders are superimposing their will, their personal will, upon the subjects in temples, in groups, in namahatas, in many situations. So therefore, we should not be mentally violent like this. It's very, very important. That's why we were discussing that book recently with devotees in Russia, Harmony. It's a basic book, actually. Gurudev's instructions for devotees are so amazing, how to be non-violent. I remember how we devotees from Litauen, from Lithuania, were in the first darshan with Srila Gurudev in Moscow when he came, 2000. And he gave us personal darshan. 7 people came from Lithuania. So he gave a formula for us, not by force, but by love and affection. He was always saying, because he knew that the big Vaishnava organizations suffered a lot from that force. You know, by force, I have to do surrender to your temple president, Prabhu. It's not like that. Bhakti doesn't come like that. Gurudev doesn't make anyone surrender to him. He doesn't say, surrender to me. He said, no, surrender to Krishna. I will show you Krishna, I can give you. Krishna is also not saying, I can give you Krishna. He was saying, okay, I can take your hand and lead you there. I can lead you to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, I can lead you to Shishirada and Krishna, like this. So the absence of Jiva Himsa is visible in Srila Gurudev, first of all, in the Vaishnavas, first of all. They're so much loving, you know. Even if mother chastises a child, she does it with great, great love. She puts the child in the corner. Don't draw on the floor. Don't wipe wallpaper. Don't wrap up wallpaper, etc., etc. Some small things. You know, don't take something from the floor. Don't lick your fingers. So chastisement is needed. Otherwise, the child will not be educated. Because it's, what to say, otherwise it's spoiling. The spoiling should not be done. Guru is strict. Guru means very, very deep and loving, but that love manifests its strictness, but that strictness is with great, great love. And we should not become gurus in that way. We're not, really. We are just loving helpers. If we're senior according to our position, then we have to be non-violent. It means perceiving those young devotees as friends, mostly. They are not our children, they are not our disciples, they're not our subjects, we're not their bosses. So very, very important things. So their souls, we're supposed to help. So what is the way? What is the way to care? You know, like this, like Srila Gurudev showed, like Gauranga Mahaprabhu showed. We can see also Mahaprabhu's dealings with his devotees. Very, very softly. Even remember when he was still in Navadvip, how softly he, what's it called? Defeated Keshava Kashmiri. Very, very softly. Okay, Pandit, now please go home and take rest. Not that, oh, you're a loser, get out of here. No, never. You go home, take rest. Tomorrow come again. He was crushed. His false pride was completely crushed. Remember, he was praying to Saraswati. What's going on? Why is your mercy not active today? And she told him in a dream, oh, that's my Lord. So how can I, how to say, go against him? How can I be strong in front of him? It's not possible. So I surrender to him. So many, many examples. So as we mentioned before, those tar, spots of tar, they represent Vaishnava Aparat. And the Vaishnava Aparat is actually the highest type of Jiva Himsa, Vaishnava Himsa. Violence towards Vaishnava, that's a horrible thing, and Nama Aparat, number one. So even if you clean those spots of tar, for a long, long, long time, still some, not exactly black, but like grayish, brownish hue remains in that particular spot where they were before. So very, very difficult to get rid, even up to the level of beginning of prema. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti was saying in Madhurya Kadambini. So another thing is Nishiddhachara. Nishiddhachara means the improper behavior. It's called Nishiddhachara, prohibited activities. For example, a brahmachari or sannyasi suddenly becomes lusty. It's completely forbidden, completely. Even to look at a wooden statue of the lady, even to think of the name of the lady, Mahaprabhu was never doing it. You know. So Mahaprabhu used to quote that verse, Nishkinchanasya bhajanan bhajanan mukasya Param param jagamishur bhavasagarasya. Vishayanam is hanta. Chatya sadhu, sorry, I forgot some words. But the essence is that one who wants to become a renunciate should stay away from ladies and from those who associate with ladies very, very closely, and from those who are non-devotees. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Asatsanga Tyaga Vaishnava Achar Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta Ar. So two types of non-devotional association, of bad association. So the association of opposite sex, for gents ladies and for ladies gents. Yeah, and in modern world there are some mixed versions as well, as you know. So and Stri Sangi, yes. So Stri means lady, and Asadu means non-holy person. So Krishna Bhakta, so non-devotee, second type. Non-devotee, who belongs to that category? A Mayavadi, first of all. A person who is under the conception of Shankaracharya. Yes, Advaitavada, monism. The first. Does everyone understand? Does she have any question? You have any question? Okay. Okay, some clarification. Yeah, so Mayavad, that's people who are under Mayavad. Mayavad is the first type of bad association. Then atheists and sahajas. You understand sahajas? Imitators. So sahaja means easy in Sanskrit, in Hindi. Sahaj. Yeah. So one who takes higher levels of devotion very easily. Oh, Radha and Krishna, no problem. I can now start meditating on the Leelas. Although he's very far from anartha nivriti, even process. Anartha nivriti means, yes, no bhajana kriya, no bhajan, therefore no anartha nivriti. Figuratively speaking, a person is not in the shower, so therefore not getting clean. So very, very far from anartha nivriti, very, very far from being clean or cleansing process. So, I can start meditating on Radha and Krishna Leela now. I remember one of my first impressions when I came to Gurudev's Sangha back in '99 in Vrindavan. So Gurudev was saying, oh, there are so many ladies, young ladies, they're living in Vrindavan. Oh, and they're meditating on Ashtakale Leela. They have to be reading Bhagavad Gita. Gurudev said, Ashtakale Leela, understand? That's the eightfold cycle of Radha and Krishna's pastimes in spiritual world. It's described in the literatures like Krishna Bhavanamrita, Shri Krishna Lilamrita of our acharyas. So immature devotees must not meditate on that, because what will they be meditating upon? Actually, their own similar activities, their own pastimes, loving pastimes. So it's forbidden, yes. So
even sannyas living there in Rathdam.
Yes, very often.
So you see that
Get caught up.
people think they are going to stay Radhakund Shampur.
Yes.
They're doing high level bhajan, but
Yeah.
our acharya never went there.
They were visiting there, and they were staying actually. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita there, and they were staying. But they,
They are high level.
all maid servants of Srimati Radhika, basically. They're able. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Tavai Vasmi, Tavai Vasmi. We can visit and we can pray. Staying, Srila Gurudev gave us Vrindavan to stay, close to Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. So, Nishiddhachar, yes, improper behavior. So, Krishna Bhaktas, again, three categories. Mayavadis, atheists, and Asahajas. Those who associate with those will never attain Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. Then Kutinati, Kutinati is a very, very severe anartha. Ku means bad, and na means what is forbidden. So that's like qualifying part of the word. Kutinati means performing evil activities and performing forbidden activities. So, classical example is Ravana. When Ravana came and stole Sita, how? Positioned himself as Sadhu Maharaj. Tridandi, not necessarily. Anyway, Maharaj. Oh, Bhiksham Dehi, please give me alms, please give me some donation. Donati. And as a result, by cunning words, by cheating words, he achieved the result. He could steal Sita, but Maya Sita actually. Sita Thakurani is the Lord's Shakti, so what he received is a shadow. And then you remember the whole situation was with the war, and Sita was finally she came back to Ayodhya. So this type of cheating is called Kutinati, classical Kutinati. Your position as a great Acharya, even Guru, and secretly performing nonsense. Then Kali Yuga, such activities have green light. You please do that. I remember last Gurudev's darshans in Italy on the bridge. You remember that. So Gurudev, so many things he was saying about Guru Tattva, about who can be Guru, and Kanishta cannot. Gurudev was stressing Kanishta cannot. But somebody was asking, I think Ashram Maharaj, somebody else in the years. But what if Kanishta is still giving? You say, oh yes, in Kali Yuga, this is the time for that. Yeah, definitely, everything is possible. Everything is allowed. Those so-called sadhus, they perform Kutinati activities. So basically, these things. So these are the anarthas we have to avoid. And after that, Mahaprabhu was watching very, very diligently how devotees are cleaning the temple, how devotees are cleaning. So first of all, they were sweeping, right? And they were collecting big types of garbage. But then Mahaprabhu called for the water. So many pitchers of water were filled from, what's it, Indradyumna tank, Indradyumna Sarovar. They were being brought. And the devotees took so much water that it seemed that no water left. So they were taking water from the well, like Paramananda Puris and other wells. And some pitchers were colliding, and they were breaking, and they were bringing new pitchers. And there were thousands of them. And Mahaprabhu told devotees very strictly, don't talk, just say Krishna, Krishna. When you pass pitchers, you say Krishna, Krishna. When somebody is on your way, you say Krishna, 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 Krishna. And the pitcher broke. No, Krishna, Krishna. At any situation, in any situation, Krishna, Krishna. So we should not be saying anything but Harikatha. Very, very important principle. But Atyahara Prayasamscha Prajalponi Amagraha Jana Sangashtelaulyam Cha Shadvir Bhaktir Vinashyati. The second verse of Upadeshamrita, very instructive for us. What we should be careful about, what we should be checking, avoiding. Those things are mentioned, 6. Chaya, Dosha, Shodhi. Yeah? We pray in the words of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, O Vaishnava Thakur, please make me free from those 6 negative qualities. No? Atyahara means overeating. Overeating physically and mentally. Over collecting different impressions. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna, what's on the TV? What are they showing? What's on the internet? Hare Krishna, what's personal how to say, guardian angel with everyone. Personal guru, little electronic Thakurji in everyone's pocket. So I consult it every time. Oh, funny story for guests. In Moscow Preaching Center, at one point, there were more computers than people. There were like 2 people and 5 computers, something like this. And I came to stay for some time, and I noticed they have mice, the mouse in plural, mice on the left side. I say, why? Are they all left-handers, No, Japa is on the right side. Japa is on the right hand, that's fine. So they were chanting, and chanting and traveling simultaneously, going here and there, And the Japa was, you can imagine, different mantras, but definitely not Hare Krishna. Something else, not clear. But people were, paying more attention to that. So, inattentive chanting. When we work, for Krishna, when we do activities, when we serve, we have to be singing something. Like Srila Gurudev was giving an example of a devotee in a mat who had a high fever, 108 Fahrenheit, that's like 40 and half, something like this, degrees. So that devotee was still Amara Jivana Sadapaperatana, still was conscious, was able to sit up probably, and he was singing, while having an ordinary soul would be doing nothing else. The devotee was Samara Jivana Sadapaperata, like in consciousness, and nice consciousness. My life was full of sin. All I was doing, I was harming others. I'm so joyous when somebody is worse than me, when somebody is suffering, I'm just rejoicing, seeing the sufferings of others. Oh my God. So we're just looking into our heart. Again, like the shadow of yesterday's glorification of Thakur Bhaktivinoda Prabhu. So our life is going around the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda, and in those songs, so much inspiration to practice anartha nivriti, really, to practice the freeing of the anarthas. Gurudev once said one interesting thing. He said, answering the question, "Oh, Gurudev, we have so many anarthas, so should we be, pondering upon them? Should we be, meditating upon them?" Guru said, "Don't meditate on your anarthas. Otherwise, they will multiply." Multiply. Okay, what do you do when you have cockroaches in Dunkirken? What do you do? Do you meditate on them? No, they will multiply. You bring, there's one devotional measure sometimes to use poison. As yes, Acharyas are saying, Prabhupada was saying, Gurudev was saying, just use, some physical means to make them free from the burden of material body. Right, so to get rid of them. So in that same way, just get rid by some positive means. Positive means is certainly Jai Shri Radha Govinda Ji Ki Jai. Positive means is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, first of all. So how to get rid of anarthas? Devotees are asking us. And as one ISKCON Guru was saying, typical how can we question, there are how can we questions. Oh, how can we get rid of anarthas? How can we surrender to Krishna? How can we do Guru Seva? How can we? So all those questions, how can we, they have one answer. Just go on. Just go on. Just go. Just stand in the shower of the holy name, right? If you're very dirty, you've come after your shift, you're working in, garage mechanic, or, you do something with coal or whatever, and tar or whatever, you come home, you go in the shower, and you use different shampoos and strong washing materials. So when you stand a long time, then definitely dirt will come off. But you have to continue, just go on. And that's true, Devotees sometimes quite broken-hearted. Oh, my guru told me to go on, and what is that go on, like stamping? Go on with your devotional service. But that's true, just go on. How to go on if I'm broken-hearted? What if my husband, wife left me? If I lost $1 million. If I lost my job. How to go on? Ari, just go on, and the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda will help you. Not help you, will make you a man, will make you a devotee. So that is, how to say, some psychological things which are very, very important to know. But we must go on. I remember in Gurudev's Festival 2009 in Venice, it was last morning. Gurudev came and spoke maybe 5 minutes, last word for devotees. Gurudev was always the master of short speech when it was necessary. When Gurudev was very sick, 2002, remember, in hospital in Delhi, he spoke very briefly, everything very briefly. 2005 or 6, I think, Gurudev wasn't able to come to his Vyasa Puja, very first time, and single time he did not, was not able to come to Hawaii. Remember, he spoke over internet. So very briefly, like 10-15 minute speech and the brief things. So Gurudev that morning in Venice 2009 was speaking very briefly, and he said, like, he started from the most essential thing, and I was shocked to hear. That was, I'm requesting all my disciples to please chant the holy name and to please chant your Gayatri mantra. So I was thinking, oh my God. After initiating thousands of people in the West, Gurudev has to say these ABC things again for them. Oh my God. People are still experimenting to chant or not to chant. You know, what will be if I don't chant? Ari Baba, do those things before initiation. Don't do after initiation. So these are, how to say, we're discussing today most dangerous, most horrible things to get rid of, right? Beneficial for all of us. So I was amazed at, the devotees, some devotees of such level that Gurudev has to say to them again, don't stop chanting.
Year after year.
Year after year. Thank you for reminding Raman, yes, year after year. Because that's our most important duty. But this duty is very sweet, you know, and Mahaprabhu has put into our hearts that sweetness, and as he has put that sweetness into the hearts of those Vaishnavas who were performing Gundicha-mandira-marjana. You know? So Gundicha represents our heart, really, because our heart is Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu is bringing us to Vrindavan, right? And he engages us in road towards Vrindavan. So road towards Vrindavan, or road towards this treasure of our heart, lies through purification. Because, as you well know, in material world we're in diseased condition. And that disease condition is curable by the mercy of the greatest doctor, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So then water came, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself and his devotees started throwing water onto the ceiling. I remember in old times, devotees were cleaning like this. I remember old stories from the 80s, and senior devotees were telling me when I was young, especially Soviet times, you know, underground, how they were celebrating this day, Gundira-mandira-marjana. There was one devotee from Litauen, my godbrother now, in his house, you know, big flat in the center of the city, Lithuania. All Soviet Union bhaktas were gathering sometimes for festivals. So one time there was Gundicha-mandira-marjana, and they were literally washing the ceiling with water. Really, they threw water onto the ceiling like it's written. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I didn't say that. You say only what I said.
You clean here also.
Yeah, very wonderful. I mean, and it's very, very important also to clean on that day. That's true. Clean the temple. So in Gaudiya temples, devotees do. I remember 2015 was Purushottama, right? And after Purushottama was finished, that was early. That was before Chaturmasya started. So 2 weeks, we were eating tomatoes again, and we were in Vrindavan. And Gundicha-mandira-marjana came. Oh my God, what there was was total cleaning of everything, all the spiders, all the cobwebs, all the dust, holy dust of Krishna, Balaram and Yogamaya were cleaned up totally. Yes, with buckets of water. Yeah, so Mahaprabhu made thousands of buckets of water brought from the Sarovara to the sitting place of Lord Jagannath, to the throne. So Mahaprabhu, with his own hands, he was cleaning, he was washing. So somebody brought water to pour onto the hands of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and somebody was pouring onto his lotus feet. So then, unseen, devotees were trying to drink that. And after the room was washed, water let out through an outlet, and then in the yard outside they were taking that. And Mahaprabhu mopped all the corners of the room, the altar room, with his own cloth, his own uttariya. Remember, he was collecting into his uttariya the dust, and then he used his uttariya to clean. So when the temple was cleaned, it was purified, cooled, and pleasing. So much, so devotees were so happy. And hundreds of men were still bringing water from the lake. Hundreds and hundreds of devotees were bringing water in the pots. And many water pots were broken on the way. And finally, when everything was finished, one Gaudiya Bhakta, he poured some water from his pitcher onto Mahaprabhu's feet, and not secretly but openly drank that. So Mahaprabhu became angry. He didn't like it. And he said to Swarup Damodar, "See, your Gaudiya Bhakta has washed my feet in front of in the Lord's temple. He has done wrong." So Swarup Damodar immediately grabbed the devotee by the neck and grabbed him and tossed him outside. And then, he made it visible that he chastised him. But he said unto him, "Actually, you've done very good. Well done. You've done very good." In this way, the meeting place of devotees with the Lord was washed, and all the places around the temple were thoroughly washed, within and without. Everything was thoroughly washed. And then Mahaprabhu was very, very satisfied. And finally, Mahaprabhu engaged all the devotees for cleaning the temple of Nrisimhadev. Just next to Gundicha, there is a temple of Nrisimhadev just at the back.
Okay.
Ancient temple, you remember it? The ancient temple. Now Western devotees can have darshan there. So he engaged many devotees also in cleaning that. And then when the Lord was satisfied, he took some rest, and devotees brought so much Mahaprasad, and Mahaprasad was divided above everyone. And then Nityananda and Advaita were engaged in loving quarrel, joking quarrel. So Advaita said, "Oh, an avadut of unknown origin is sitting next to me. I don't know what my destination will be now." Become, the system of Varnashram was very high, and Brahmanas were of different categories, and some Brahmanas were not willing to visit Brahmanas of lower categories and eat at their houses. And but Mahaprabhu broke that system anyway. But very, very jokingly, Advaita was saying to Nityananda that, "Oh, that avadut, unpredicted behavior, is sitting here, and I'm eating along with him. So what will be my destination?" And Nityananda was saying, "Oh, this Brahman, Advaita, he's teaching Advaita, he's teaching monism." He's teaching the principles of life, which are completely against pure devotional service. So then Lord chanted and danced for some time. and very, very ecstatic manifestation happens. So in that way, devotees finish their day of Gundira-mandira-marjana. So today we're meditating on our devotion, how, what we should do to make it flourish. Really. Because without getting rid of anarthas and apparatus, it's not possible to come to the pure devotional service. So Mahaprabhu is Guru for all of us. And he's teaching by his own example how to clean our heart. Mahaprabhu's heart is fully clean. And the devotees of our Guru Parampara hearts also totally clean. But they're teaching us, they're playing the roles of ordinary mortals, so to speak, in order to teach us how to become pure. So the day before Ratha-yatra, the day before returning to Vrindavan and showing us the path to Vrindavan, by that Mahaprabhu cleaned Gundica-mandir. So we chanted that verse at the beginning. That verse is the opening verse to that chapter in Gundira-mandira-marjana lila. Sri Gundica-mandira-marjana samarnajo kraleda sagora Svachitavacharitam nirjvalam cha Krishnopaveshaya bhagam chakar. So Mahaprabhu washed and cleaned Gundica Temple with his devotees as associates. In this way, he made it as cool and as bright as his own heart. And thus, he made the temple a befitting place for the Lord to sit. So our hearts are dirty right now. So much dust and so much pollution. But the Lord is cleaning the temple of our hearts in that lila, Gundica-marjana. He is cleaning. He is the first agent. He is coming and cleaning. It is said that Sri Guru is so merciful that if he sees, when you invite him actually into our room and we're very sick, we're in disease condition, Sri Guru comes and sits. But he doesn't mind, oh, the chair is dusty, the chair is old. Doesn't mind. He sits, but first he cleans. So he sits in our heart and he cleans himself, but we have to help also. We have to help. We are not accepting that Marjara Nyaya, the logic of a kitten. Oh, mommy will do everything. Mommy comes and with her mouth. But no, Shri Guru is requiring our efforts as well. So our efforts is responsibility for each and every disciple. So Guru shows us how to steer, but we have to steer our own plane to become sadhakas. Otherwise, it will go astray. It will go down the road. We roll down as a machine, as a car. So we have to be very responsible. There are two sides of agreement: disciple and guru. And Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the first guru, so we make agreement towards him as well. What to do to make Mahaprabhu happy? Will he be happy if we associate with bad people? Definitely not. Will he be happy if we go and break our, let's say, bona fide marital relationship and go astray with some other young lady or young man? Definitely not. Definitely. I remember one verse of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad from Chaitanya Chandramrita. So it's very much pertaining to today's subject. Kala kalir balina indriya vairi varga Shri Bhakti margeha kantaka koti ruddha ha hakvayami vikala kimaham karomi Chaitanya Chandra dinadi kripam karoshi. Kala kalir, in the time of Kali Yuga, the indriya vairi varga, the senses are very strong, very strong. In different yugas, Satya Yuga, they were not as strong. They were quite, how to say, suppressed by the power of devotion, by the power of Krishna bhajan. But now the senses are so mad in Kali Yuga. Especially they make different types of attractions for the senses. At every step there's an advertisement. In every metro, in every tram, bus, there's a screen. Okay, be attracted, become attracted towards material life. If you don't purchase that product, you're not a modern person. So you have to possess that. And once Gurudev was being driven in a car in America, one of the first stores, and he saw, just with the, how to say, one little glance, you know, those advertising posters. So Maya Devi was lying down like this, horizontally, advertising. Gurudev said, one glance costs 10,000 lifetimes. Like Ajamil. Yeah, so Kala, Kalir, Balina, Indriya, Vairi, Varga. The senses are so strong during Kali Yuga. Shri Bhakti Marga Hakantaka Koti Ruddha. The holy path of Bhakti is, how to say, so-called decorated with so many thorns. With so many thorns. Not decorated, how to say, suppressed by so many thorns. Like you're walking on the road and there are so many thorns. You cannot step. You know, you need some special ammunition, some special boots in order to walk through. So Guru gives those special boots. Okay, so Sadhu Sangha, accept Sadhu Sangha. Shri Bhakti Marga Hakanta Kakoti Ruddha. Ha ha Kvayami Vikala Kimaham Karomi. Oh, where will I go? What shall I do? Chaitanya Chandra Dinadya Kripam Karoshi. Only you, O Shri Chaitanya Chandra, can save me. Kali Yuga Pavana, Kali Bhayana Shana, Shri Sachinandana Gahe. Shri Sachinandana, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the savior of Kali Yuga. You know. This age is really degraded. We went on Sankirtana the day before yesterday. You know, people are totally like stone-faced. They don't want us. They don't need.
You was disturbing them.
Yeah, we're disturbing the peace, so-called peace, the meditation on the objects of the senses. We're disturbing the meditation. But also we can say,
Because you said in the first one, the big brass, violence.
No. We are going on Sankirtana. This is great benefit for the society. We have to understand. And it goes also on the power of the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Guru. Yes. That's a correct point Didi is saying, actually, because sometimes we can misuse that rule. And Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita also, a wise man will never disturb such people who are envious, right? And the preacher is dealing in different ways with envious people and with innocent people. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. Yeah, so he gives Kripa to the innocent, and Upeksha means indifference, yes, and neglectfulness towards envious people. So to envious people, never preach. But we do Sankirtana, it's general. Like we're throwing the seeds. Like we're giving leaflets to left and right, or we're going with especially Sankirtana. It's for everyone. Yeah. Even if somebody says Helenam with negligence, oh, those Haris again here, blah, blah, blah. So they say Hari, Hari. They say Hari, Hari. Very good for them. And if somebody is really offensive, then okay, we don't talk, we neglect.
Now Sankirtana is not only stopping one place, it's continuing going.
Yes.
So you not keep disturbing the shopmaker or somebody.
Yes. We're not disturbing shopping. Yeah, we're not doing that, how to say, violently. Really. It's not violent. It's like music. Concert. You know. Some people are playing guitars and standing in one place, disturbing someone. Hey, stupid songs I don't like with mic, you know. But okay, working day, business day, everybody's engaged. So we're walking by, we're just doing our, that's a good style. One thing. Another thing is people really get benefit. We have to know. We have to know. So in any way, even if they are negligent, not offensive, but negligent, what's it? Helanam, not negligent.
Grappen maken, spotten.
Yes,
Spotten.
yes.
Spotten betekent in Engels?
Neglectfully, not negligently, neglectfully.
Ja, the Hare Krishnas.
This is always the Hare Krishnas is coming.
So, and
Also for them? Oh, they are again the Hare Krishna.
No. There's a subtle difference between negligence, but not negligence, between Helena, not negligence, different word. Neglect, chanting neglectfully and chanting with offense. Like, that Krishna.
Bewust and unbewust.
So that Krishna is bad and that Krishna is black and blah blah blah, something. One thing. And on the other side, on the other hand, Krishna, so what? Yeah, again chanting Krishna, Krishna, so what? Like this, without respect, disrespectful. So disrespect is one thing. Like doesn't know anything about Krishna. I had Krishna, Krishna again. The negative emotion. And jokingly is another thing. It's a better thing. Krishna, Krishna, like children. Like children or people drinking beer. Krishna, Haribo, like this. So they're jokingly. Good. So anyway, people get benefit. So
animal, everybody. Trees.
Yes, animals, trees, insects, birds, everyone. So Kala Kalir Balina Indriya Vairi Varga Shri Bhakti Marga Kantaka Koti Rudha Ha Kvayami Vikala Ki Maham Karami Chaitanya Chandra Dinadya Kripam Karoshi. So by the will of the Lord, by the instruction of the Lord, we go and we chant, and whatever we do, we chant, and we do any practical activity, especially cleaning the temple. We're cleaning our hearts. So today is the day of remembrance of that Lila. I remember how, 4 years ago in Vrindavan we were cleaning, last year in Irkutsk temple in Siberia, huge temple. About 10 devotees came, and I think it was working day also, but still they came. It's a huge congregation there, but anyway, 10 people came, cleaning windows, cleaning pots, cleaning everything. Very, very nice. So that's necessary to clean our heart before receiving Rema. So we're coming then to Gundicha, along with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, following the path of Ratha-yatra, as Gurudev was saying, not just by pulling the ropes, but returning Krishna to Vrindavan in our hearts. So we're just, making first in, what's it called? We're just envisioning tomorrow's subject of Ratha-yatra.
Voorbereiding.
Yes, voorbereiding. We're envisioning.
Voorbereiding, in Engels?
Yes.
Preparing.
Yes, envisioning that festival of tomorrow, Ratha-yatra. Please try to watch Ratha-yatra online tomorrow from Jagannath Puri, and then tomorrow evening we'll meet for our last meeting. I'm requesting to please invite those devotees who haven't visited us and those devotees, kind devotees who have visited. Tomorrow is our Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is our last meeting this time, and we'll be very happy to discuss very, very deep and sweet subject of Ratha-yatra with you. Sri Gundira-mandira-marjana ki jai, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Param Dayal Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Paramarajadam Guru Padma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om. Dank u wel. Hartelijk bedankt. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande. If somebody has any more remarks or questions. Atul Prabhu had to miss everything today.
There was some point going on the WhatsApp. Stri Sangi, there's a question about it. What do we mean with Stri Sangi? Only woman or something more?
So Stri means lady, yes. And those, Lord Kapila said actually in the third canto, yes, Natatasya bhaven moho, Natatasya bhaven moho, bandaschanya prasangata. Yoshit sanga yatha pumso, yatha tat sanga sangita. There is no bigger attraction in this world than the attraction to the opposite sex and those intimately associating with the opposite sex. So there is no bigger attachment and impediment you can get by the associating with those. So actually those two are mentioned in different other shlokas as well. So for gents there are ladies, for ladies there are gents, and those who are intimately connected with the ladies. So never talk to a non-celibate person, non-celibate man, non-celibate lady.
Never talk to.
Never talk means intimately. Never listen to them. Intimate. Yes. So according to the fourth verse of Upadeshamrita, Dadati pratigrinati guyamakyati prichati bhunkti bhojayate cheva shadvida pritilakshana. Don't talk intimately means don't engage in the 6 types of association. Dadati, giving gifts. Pratigrinati, accepting gifts. Guyamakyati means opening your heart, listening to their revelations, you know, and giving food and taking food. Well, you can give some prasad, but not too much also, because they come speaking something, thinking something. Then don't give too many gifts also, because they will not appreciate. Something from India, okay, related to Krishna, I don't know, peacock feather, something, but not much. Also, don't accept anything from them. Once I got on a train in Russia, you know, I was translator for sannyasis. So the sannyasi flew by plane and I went by train. They got me a ticket. Oh, Prabhu, I was brahmachari. We got you a very good ticket in a double compartment, like only 2 persons. Normally there are 4 compartments, but there were 2. Special, they sometimes sell for special price on the train. And okay, but who is number 2? They didn't say. But that was like a complete drunk, like Jagai or Madai, complete drunk. Oh my God! And he was telling me life stories, his pastimes, and then his friends came. So okay, I gave him the first berth, and I went up and I slept, and they were doing their activities all night. So I didn't listen. I was strange, but I was sleeping nicely anyway. So the guy just was talking to me all the time, and he was telling all of his life and all of his pastimes. I was thinking, my God, I was trying to escape, but again, you have to sit somewhere. Every time I was coming, the guy was on my case with his stories. You know? So then I realized what is Guya Makyati Prichati.
Sometimes for preaching, we have to listen.
For preaching is different thing, and we preach to a different category of people. We preach to the innocent. We don't preach to the envious.
No, but
if he's drunk, is not fit candidate for preaching.
Not true, drunk not, but some people, you know, they're using drugs, and I'm speaking out of experience, and they come, but there's always a way to help them.
Yeah, for sure.
Should not give a stride to all the people who are too much bewildered by Maya and stuck in this world. So we can always.
Yeah.
But it's true. Yeah, we should not spend.
2 types of people: innocent and envious. So if a person is envious,
we should support.
Yeah, then innocent we preach to. Also, we don't preach too much. We preach general things. Don't preach about Radha and Krishna to them. So
give them prashadam.
Give prasad, tell about Harinam, make them chant.
Because if you are this way, you should help everybody. So that's why I think that you should be strong enough to deal with every people.
Yeah.
If there are Pandit, Brahmins, or drunkards, or family also, there are lots of people in your own family but you should not be afraid to go there. You should go there so that you can preach Harikatha for them.
Yeah.
Because that is the only language you can talk.
Yeah.
And perhaps someone will be attracted to that.
Yeah.
So you cannot say, I will not go there because you
No,
should
no,
go
no.
there.
Another question is, if can you preach there with them, it's okay.
Mm.
But if you go there and they are against you,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you are going to disturb them. If you are not disturbing them, then you okay, you can go.
Yeah.
But if they are disturbed by your coming and you're going to
then
preach there,
you
then
go.
it's better not to go.
Also,
But you are invited.
I have a sister I cannot say anything about.
really,
Yeah.
God.
Really?
So again.
really.
So you
But
give
some prasad is the only thing I can
Prasad,
prasad, you give.
Nothing.
Sometimes they're against prasad also. Oh,
But you don't tell them it's prasad then.
Yeah.
I
Give,
tell them
give an
it's
apple.
not-
Give a nice apple.
Yeah, give them a yeah, just a fruit.
Not really
Condition.
much. That's
I have now the opposite experience family. Now they are inviting me.
Okay.
Before not, but now they are inviting me. Tell me about something. Tell me this. Tell me that. So I have an opposite feeling now with them. So I think
Everything
Okay.
will be gradually fixed. Actually, concerning families, everything will be gradually fixed sooner or later. For some people sooner, for some people
now
later.
I'm a woman. I'm a stick.
Oh.
I understand, but can I not talk intimate with you? Intimate about if I have some problems.
Oh.
It's also intimate. Can I don't?
No, that's not intimate.
This is not intimate?
No, no.
Oh.
No, you see, I'm a sannyasi. It's a bit another thing. So I cannot talk. Sannyasi cannot talk to a lady one-to-one. That's the rule, you know. So I have to be in a common room or with brahmachari. Brahmachari can be in earphones or writing something or busy, not listening, but he must be present. Sometimes we, how to say, find that exit. But if you're talking about some personal issues or problems, it's not intimate. This is within the scope of bhakti, within the scope of our common, how to say, anartha nivriti and our process. So nothing intimate.
But not speak with other devotees. That's
Yes, it's your personal. Like you want to speak to a senior, someone who is more experienced, someone who can help. Yeah, what to do? Then it's completely normal. No even distance.
otherwise our people are where to go then.
Yeah. We should not be afraid of sannyasis. You know, they're not fearful. They're our friends. I mean, but yeah, because of the ashram, we have certain limitations because we're, how to say, supposed to be strict. Yeah. So also, there's a book by Srila Bhaktivinoda Bhakti Aloka, and he's speaking many things. I remember. Sometimes gents and ladies, they start talking on the pretext of discussing Harikatha. And sometimes it goes too deep. You know, Harikatha, oh, let's meet and discuss Harikatha, and Harikatha, then some other katha will come up, some glances, some romance, and Maya katha, you know, through that. But in the case of sannyasi, it's not like sannyasi brahmacharis, they're out of it, and they're strict enough not to be, how to say, captured by that. But between ordinary devotees, like, okay, someone's husband and someone's wife, and they start talking, and that Harikatha becomes other sort of katha. So we have to be also very cautious here. Right. Also, another point I wanted to make. I remember Jiva Himsa, violence. So while preaching, we should not be engaged in Jiva Himsa. You know, like I saw certain examples. A devotee in the street, you know, talking to a person about the book, trying to sell the book, and the person doesn't know and doesn't want, okay, because sometimes they didn't like. When devotee is saying, say Hare Krishna, you say Hare Krishna. We should not force no forcing. Say Hare Krishna now, because I want you to say. See how heroic I am? I'm giving you Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why not saying? Mistake. The person, I don't want your Krishna. Why is your Krishna so cruel? The Krishna you're speaking about is quite cruel. So Krishna is different. Krishna is very loving. You cannot force people to be Krishna conscious.
But talking about seniors to juniors. Can they say to you, you are not good or this is not good? That is also violent because it can hurt juniors.
Seniors to juniors.
Yes.
Yeah. You see different situations and different types of relationship. Like we're preaching, okay? We have many friends of different kinds. We have people who we are feeling responsible for. Certainly it's organic. It's not like I'm superimposing by power and saying, okay, now I'm your like boss or someone like this. We never say that. Like people are, how to say, having natural respect for us because through us, Mahaprabhu and Sri Guru helped them in so many ways. Like, so they're attached to us, attached to us. Then we'll never be violent towards them naturally because it's love, When there's love, there are certain rules, ethical rules. So we know how to engage in that sadachara etiquette. And association is so really strong that sometimes within the scope of that love, some chastisement will come. And that chastisement will be in the mood of Mother Yashoda. How she was chastising Krishna? She was chastising Krishna with a stick. But Krishna was so happy. Yes, that was, what's that, Anukulyana. Fully Anukul. But externally he was crying, but inside all devotees know that he was happy. Because of, Mother Yashoda really won the battle.
I never heard he was happy. Good, it's just, he was really fearful.
Really fearful, but inside it was...
Externally it's fearful, inside it is...
That was Anukula, why? Okay, if...
No, I know it's...
Yes, you know.
Mother Yashoda is doing to make him a good boy, but Krishna really, he was...
Krishna was unhappy externally, but actually, why was it, my question, why was it Anukul? If Krishna was unhappy, why was it Anukul? Why is it Anukul? Anukul means favorable. So that anger is favorable because Krishna will be actually happy. At the end of the day.
He will be happy.
But at that moment. Okay, so we're just mixing up the circumstantial and the ultimate thing here. So okay. So within that type of relationship, loving relationship, even junior can sometimes say to senior, hey, I think you're, making it too much. Even the junior can say to senior. Normally junior will never say to senior. Like Mahaprabhu, remember? To Ramachandra Puri. Ramachandra Puri was a great offender. He offended his Gurudev, Srimad Devendra Puripat. But he was afterwards, when his Guru rejected him, he was in Puri, and he was a fault finder, great fault finder. He noticed that Mahaprabhu was eating too much, according to his, too much prasadam. Okay, he immediately reduced the quantity of prasad. Oh, now you've become lean and thin. Why? Then, I can see ants in your room. Means you have sweets? Sannyasi, you're not supposed to have sweets. So he was like this. Yeah, very, very sarcastic and seeing faults everywhere. There are no faults. Anyway, ants are going everywhere, for some sweets. So he was deliberately, bringing up quarrel everywhere at every step. Mahaprabhu was still so respectful because senior, on the level of his Guru's god brother. Ishvara Puripat's god brother. Although he was the worst, he was not a Vaishnava actually. But since he was like a disciple, even rejected by his Guru, Mahaprabhu was so much etiquette, so much respectful. You see? So a junior will never go against senior like this, I think you are wrong, Never. Mahaprabhu was never doing.
But you will.
All by, okay, if the senior devotee is doing too much, a bit pagal, offending the junior, treating like nothing, like zero, then what to do? Dandavat Prabhu. And if some problem really, then go to authority. Make the authority know that such and such a thing happened. That's in the mood of our acharyas. That's in the mood of Mahaprabhu. Never face up, hey, what are you doing to me? Never. Never, never, like Mahaprabhu was doing. But the senior also will not be, how to say, making too much. Because natural love means devotional love coming from prema. So if you have that devotional love in your heart, you will be loving despite anything. Even juniors can be a bit, whimsical or can be challenging, and still love will win.
You are saying that senior is the one who is loving.
Yeah.
Not by so many years in the mud.
Yeah.
Senior is actually someone who gives love.
Yeah.
So if someone gives so much love, then he can never be violent to everybody.
Yeah.
So a senior is not, because I see a lot of seniors,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, I'm 30 years here, 30 years here.
Mm-hmm.
But actually then you are saying that they are not seniors because you cannot say that, isn't it? And if they don't have love for you, for everybody, then they are not seniors.
Absolutely. There's one important principle: to command respect, not to demand respect. Never demanding respect. Hey, I'm 30 years around. You have to respect me. See who I am? See here? See how many stars I have here? 5 stars in a 5-star hotel. So I have to respect. No, I'm your friend. So a real devotee, although being very senior, will never act as a senior. Like in common relationship. Like one time, I was in contact with a devotee, right? For a long time, I didn't know he was Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada's disciple. I didn't know for a long time. I didn't know. And finally, I came to know, oh, you're Prabhupada's disciple. I had the great fortune to accept his mercy like this. Oh my God. He was acting like an ordinary bhakta. Not like, Prabhupada. Come to me, I'll tell you about Prabhupada. Never. Never. He's ordinary bhakta. Ordinary bhakta. That's great. That's the source of prema, isn't it? Hare Krishna. It was very, very wonderful evening today.
Yeah.
Thank you. You have anything else? Most welcome. Atul Prabhu very tired today. Okay.
Shall we do Arti?
Yes, we'll do Arti. Thank you. We're waiting for you tomorrow. Thank you very much. What's that? Ik ben?
Ik ben heel blij.
Ik ben heel blij. Hartelijk bedankt. Ik ben heel blij.
Ja,
Gaur Premanandi.